and then we're gonna go back to the game. Okay, let's see what Plutarch has for us.
Do you like MMOs? Oh. What about gachas? Do you like gachas? Oh, okay. Well, do you like gachas inside your MMOs? MMOs and gachas. Two genres that are appreciated by their respective audiences, but often given the side eye if you mix both of them together. It's like mixing me with a dress. It just doesn't seem like a good idea. But it can still work. And that's the topic that I want to go over, which is the new gacha system the SR devs are trying to add into the game. All the info I'll be covering is from their newsletters on the Bilibili website. Link will be in the description below. Now then, we've already had a gacha in the beta test back in April, which was...
Yeah, it was the outfit gacha. I think I did like few pulls, but didn't really care about it. Also, it was just a Chinese server, so I don't give a fuck. I might play on Chinese server on release, since it's gonna be fierce, but... I heard the new gacha is about the gear.
The costume
Yeah,
gacha.
it's even in the
It was
title.
only for purely cosmetics, so nobody really cared about it. But now they're adding a gacha banner that has gear that could make you stronger. This gear that I'm talking about in this banner are called Imagines, which is one of the several kinds of gear progressions in Star Residence. And
Let's see. Yeah, they actually give you stats. So, I mean, there's other ways to get them, but like, still, you can like skip the grind and get those.
And before you start throwing rocks at the game, let me clarify a few points. All the Imagines you can obtain in the new gacha are obtainable outside the gacha as a free-to-play. It's not like they threw in some gear that you can only obtain if you top off. Looking at you, Crystal Aladdin. Next, the Imagine gacha.
Crystal Fatland is such a terrible game though. Holy shit. I don't know how they managed to like fuck up their community so much. They was like, yeah, we're gonna just read game now.
Gacha banner can only be interacted with by using bounded gacha coins.
Okay.
You can obtain these bounded coins by using bounded rose orbs, which are not the premium currency. Let's not get confused there. However, you can convert unbounded rose orbs to be bounded.
Okay, that's the issue.
Like Lost Ark's Royal Crystal to Blue Crystal conversion. The devs have also said in their livestream back in May that they will add more ways to obtain unbounded Luno, which is the game's in-game currency. You essentially convert the unbounded Luno into bounded rose orbs at a set price, and that's how free-to-play get access to the gear gacha. Literally just like Lost Ark. Adding more ways of farming unbounded Luno means more access for free-to-play.
Okay, but we really shouldn't have the next Lost Ark though. Like, Lost Ark is terrible. With the enchantment, with getting materials and other shit, Lost Ark is just not this.
To get bounded gacha coins. To our knowledge, there will not be a separate paid-for-only gear gacha banner. This ties into my third point. They want to limit how many times the user can access the Imagine Gacha weekly. How they plan on doing that is by limiting how many bounded gacha coins you get weekly. To our knowledge, the bounded gacha coin can be used for the costume or the Imagine Gacha banners. So players have to choose one to invest coins into. My theory is that they added this limit so that whales don't buy their way to max Imagines day one. That way, Imagines you normally get through the world bosses don't lose their value almost immediately. My final point is that there's a lot more we aren't so sure yet about this Imagine Gacha banner. A lot of the gacha info that came from the dev's recent newsletter isn't explained very well. I asked a community member that knows Mandarin about it, and yeah, even they said some things aren't really explained that well. It's simply something to keep in mind and really start lobbing spitballs at if the devs do end up making the Imagine Gacha really shitty. A lot of its success or failure will come down to what is the weekly limit of obtaining bounded gacha coins, how affordable is it for the free to play, and what are the pity rates like.
That's fair.
Now, if you want my honest opinion, I don't like the idea of gear gacha MMO in an MMO. It feels like we're walking on thin ice here, guys. As someone who has gone through MMOs with a gacha system like old school MapleStory or more recently Crystal of Atlan, just for some examples, the gear gacha can really bar progress when done incorrectly and make people quit the game. However, I will give it a try since
Yeah, just like Crystal of Atlan, they really made people quit. Even I quit it.
there were a few points in the game where I felt skeptical, like the server time gate for content, for example, but somehow they made it work well, which I was pleasantly surprised about. So we'll just have to wait and see. Furthermore, the game is very open to change, and likely it'll be changed before being released in global. The devs have been constantly showing progress these last couple weeks. Pretty much all the points in these newsletters have been well received by China, except for the gacha change. Yeah, even China users are upset about the Imagine gacha. I think it's a common misconception that China only likes to swipe, but they are actually just like us when it comes to MMOs. There are China users that are dooming about the gacha, which is something I expect you guys, the global audience, will do too after watching this video. There are also users that say to wait until we experience it before crashing out about it, so it's clear we share a similar mindset regardless of the region. The devs are active in Bilibili, so those criticisms in Bilibili do matter. They even go to Bilibili streams personally to ask streamers for feedback on the game. So please,
I mean, yeah, we definitely will just need to wait. And see what it goes with the gacha system. Maybe they gonna scrap it. I mean, for the outfit gacha, it's not that bad, to be honest. I still would like to just buy outfits from the shop. But in the end, it just depends on what they put there.
please don't think the devs are too stubborn to revert anything that's hurting their player base. In fact, let me point out some of the huge W's from these past two newsletters. Imagines, the gear that I was just talking about throughout this video so far, are becoming far more accessible for the free-to-play, while also making the starting cost cheaper, but more expensive at the later upgrades. This allows for players to make the Imagines earlier, which is where most of their power comes from. And then another change is the life skills. Myself and many content creators have stressed out how shit the energy system is. Let me just say that it's still pretty shit, but it's less than what it was back then. To expand on this, they combined parts from a former life skill into two existing life skills. They added two new life skills, which are craftsman and tailor. Craftsman sounds like woodcutting from the way it's described in the newsletter, while tailor lets you craft costumes, some gear, and furniture items.
I mean, yeah, new life skills also are good. I just wish they fixed the fucking energy. Because it was bad. He said it was shit.
Furthermore, some materials and crafting will cost no energy to acquire. The materials that are obtainable without energy will not be tradable in the auction house, but can still be placed inside a shared warehouse. What a shared warehouse does is pretty much in the name itself. It lets you share items amongst players, but has limitations. Don't know what the changes are to the limitations, because it was a pretty bad system in beta, so they're fixing it a little bit, so more on that on another time. There are some more changes, but you get what I mean. There are a few W's, but there are also a couple of L's the game has, and I like to point both sides out when necessary. Anyways, it's too early to be emotional about it. We just have to wait and see. That's all the news I have for Star Resonance right now. In regards to what I've been doing, I've just been doing some stuff behind the scenes. I'm excited to showcase that when the time comes. Also, I stopped playing Crystal Aladdin, finished the endgame as free to play, and friends quit the game, so I'll also do the same. Now just been hopping around trying games recommended by the SR community, like Etheria restart and looking at Nintendo Switch 2 content. And that's all. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about the news in the comments below. Be sure to like and sub to help this small YouTuber out and to get more SR news in the future. And with that, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you for the video. I mean, when I first heard about the new Gear Gacha, I thought this will be like game breaking or something, but to be honest, I don't think we really have to worry about this shit.